Hi, I'm Erik Linask. I'm here in the TMC newsroom. We are in Austin, Texas, day 3 of IT Expo West 2011. And on our program this morning, I'm pleased to be speaking with Parmeet Chaddha, who's from Pano Logic. Parmeet, good morning. Thank you for joining me. It's great to see you again.
Thank you, Erik. Good to see you as well.
So, when we last spoke, you gave me a little bit of an introduction to Pano Logic and your product and the whole concept of virtual desktop.
Yep.
What's been going on since then?
A lot of progress. I guess about a year ago, last we met, we have seen tremendous progress in the market in terms of adoption of virtual desktop infrastructure, VDI, as it's referred to. Not only sort of the mid-market where we were playing at that time, but we are starting to see increasing amount of traction in the larger enterprise. And that's really a testimonial both to acceptance of the concept of virtualizing the desktop as well as the evolution of the technology and the products that are involved, particularly the product from Pano Logic that I'm holding here in my hand. It's been received extremely well. We have larger and larger deployments in place at this point of time, and things are looking good.
Give me a little refresher on the product. I love the form factor. It's attractive, sits on the desk. Tell me about the features.
Pretty straightforward. Simplicity is the mantra at Pano Logic. What we have done is really take the desktop PC off the desktop and move all of the compute and the actual operating system, in this case Windows operating system, back into the data center and replace that, essentially this little device that I'm holding in my hand, on the user's desktop. This device is what we refer to as a Pano Logic Zero client. Zero meaning it has no CPU, it has no OS, no drivers, not even any firmware update. So it's as minimal as it gets. And this little box essentially not only provides you access to your virtual desktop, but gives you complete full functionality that you will otherwise have with a traditional PC. You want to plug in your USBs, you can plug in the USBs back here. You connect it to your network from one of the ports. You want to plug in your mouse, keyboard. You can plug in 2 monitors, not 1. So very, very powerful and full function. Also, the USB support that we have in this device, which is an update from earlier this year, is not just USB async, but also USB isochronous, which essentially means that you are now able to plug in webcams, you are able to plug in headphones, you want to do Skype type of calling using a virtual desktop. All of that has now been enabled by the Pano Logic solution.
Now, you mentioned that you've seen an increase in adoption. Larger enterprise side more than SMB market, or equally?
It's really across the board. We are starting to continue to see great traction in the markets that we have played in historically, which is education, healthcare, different sectors of the government. But we are starting to see significant traction in the larger enterprise as well, across the board. Financial services, other industrial sectors, and so on. So that's been very, very heartening that the whole notion every year has been threatening to be the year of the VDI, but we are finally starting to see VDI evolve purely piloting and experimentation to actual real production deployments.
So I guess it's what that means is that your customers, or the business market at large, is starting to understand the benefit of VDI.
Absolutely, they are. It's actually an interesting stage the whole VDI evolution is at. Concept is starting to take root. People are starting to recognize the value of VDI, and the driver is not necessarily cost. That was the original thought, that VDI is going to be extremely disruptive to the total cost of ownership of a desktop. The drivers are things like security, data protection, malware. So overall control that IT can exercise over the enterprise desktop have been the big drivers for the adoption of VDI. There are a lot of compliance requirements in areas like healthcare and so on, which are driving the need for virtualizing the desktop and protecting that back in the data center. So the big question right now is around the TCO, total cost of ownership. And that's where the Pano Logic's position is, that our product and our solution and our architecture is really geared towards delivering not only all the requirements for data protection and compliance, but also dramatic disruption to the total cost of ownership as well. And we are the only product really in the market which is able to deliver on that promise because of the key architecture we have, which is of radical centralization of the virtual desktop and leaving really no compute footprint on the desktop and replacing that by a zero client. That particular architecture of radical centralization is delivering tremendous both OpEx as well as CapEx benefits to our customers. On the OpEx side, the benefits are as high as 80% in some cases.
Wow, amazing. And as far as administrative work for the IT managers, anything additional?
Again, dramatic disruption into that. One of the benefits of radical centralization is that IT can define, deliver, and control the desktop, with the virtual desktop in this case, in a very centralized fashion. And we have a management console as a part of our product, which allows IT to monitor and manage the virtual desktops with tremendous amount of ease. I mean, one of the things that our customers really like about the Pano Logic product is not only is it very, very simple and easy to deploy, as a matter of fact, some of our customers are up and running in less than half an hour with our product, but it's extremely easy to manage. And actually in that regard, just recently, last week, we announced another product, which is essentially more of a solution, where we have taken the Pano Logic system, which is a Pano that I'm holding in my hand, as well as a backend infrastructure for that, and packaged all of that as a bundle, if you will. There is a high availability bundle as well as a non-high availability bundle. These are available in the packs of 30 users, 50 users, 60 users, and so on, all pre-configured, ready to be deployed, where you deploy a hardware appliance in the data center, which has all the virtual stack built in, and then you deploy a bunch of Panos in your office environment, and you're up and running literally in a matter of minutes with a virtual desktop solution.
Oh, amazing. Anything else exciting? What can we expect next from Pano Logic?
Several disruptions. I think Pano Logic continues to innovate tremendously and to continue to disrupt the user experience. You will see the user experience, it's already almost PC equivalent user experience. We are continuing to improve that with every release of the product. Our product continues to become more and more tolerant to the network, so that if you have challenged networks in the enterprise, the product will still continue to work and work extremely well. So those are the areas where a lot of innovation is going on in the company, and that will manifest itself in the future generations of our product.
Fantastic. Parmeet, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Take care.